Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures, and welcome to my channel on this beautiful sunny early February morning. Isn't it wonderful to have January behind us at last? It felt like the longest month ever. I mean, it always feels long, but this year it just felt like it stretched out forever. So it's a great relief, well, to me anyway, to get to February and feel like we're moving forward. So this video, I finally obviously put my sewing journal behind me, so my Mondays are now free to do different things. And I say Mondays, I mean, this isn't Monday when I'm filming it, it's Mondays when I upload. I have been uploading every Monday with my sewing journal, as you've probably noticed. So this is going to be a little project that I will do intermittently. Don't know quite how often I'll come on and do this, but it is actually something I started 3 years ago, can you believe? Because it was, I started doing it just as my daughter was expecting her baby, and her baby is nearly 3 now. I don't suppose anybody will have seen my original videos that I did of this when I started this little book. It came as an idea, as a response really in a way to the 100-day project, which goes on every year, and it was going on in the scrapbooking world as much as it does in the junk journaling world, and probably in other things as well. And I knew that doing something every day for 100 days was never an option for me. I can't craft every day, and at the time I was still working as well, and I definitely wasn't able to craft on those days, and one of the days I would be spending with Jenny, which leads me to what I was planning to do, because I knew that when she had the baby, I was going to go over there every week for a day, spend a day with them every week while she was on maternity leave, which she would be for a year. So I turned the 100-day project for me into the 50-week project, so that I would be able to do a little something, record every visit for 50 weeks that I made to Jenny and Alyssa. And I think I got the idea from one of the ladies I used to watch in doing scrapbooking, because she did a letter to her son every day for 100 days. So I thought, well, I'll do a letter to Alyssa every week for 50 weeks. And that was how it came about. So this is the little book I'd bought, because at the time I wasn't a journaler as such, a junk journaler. I hadn't even really ever considered making journals or anything like that. I was very much still into my scrapbooking. And I got this little book thinking, well, then it's not too bad. If I can do this once every week, it would be something not too daunting to undertake. So I did film a few of them for a few sessions, but I didn't actually film it to the end. But I did finish it. So I started it the day she was born, recorded that, and I took it right through every week till her first birthday, which is at the end here. So it actually records all her little things that she's done, her progression. You can see her grow through the year, and it was just a lovely thing to do. Very, very enjoyable. Nice record to have. So that was done. Thought it was all finished. And then last year, about this sort of time last year, I thought, I wish I'd known about junk journaling when I did this, and I could have made something a little bit more special for her. So I decided I would transfer this into a journal. And that's what I've been working on. Well, I started working on it, and I haven't worked on it for months and months and months. Haven't even looked at it. So I thought today I'm going to come back to it and carry on working in it and making more of a journal for her that's a bit more interactive, perhaps. Not really interactive, but a bit nicer to look at, a bit prettier, and have lace in it, and just make it a bit more really. So I will show you how far I've got and what I made. It's just a little one. It's a bit bigger than this, obviously, but it's quite soft. I've lined it with felt. You see me using felt. I quite like using felt for things. And this was the first time I thought about putting felt underneath, because I think the basis was just a piece of card. I just folded over, cut to size. Lined it with felt, and then covered it in this really pretty fairy fabric. I just thought that was so pretty, and I thought she'll like that. Put a bit of lace to cover the spine. I've still got to do a little something here, some sort of focal point. I want to give it a title. I'm going to call it Letters to Lissy, because that's her nickname, Lissy. And I want to do that, but I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do that yet. so that's no urgency. So I just thought I'd quickly show you how what it looks like inside. I lined it with this really pretty fabric. I bought a little swatch of fabrics that were child friendly, and these are just pretty colours with slightly seasidey theme to it. It's got little starfish and things, and I've got a few different fabrics and I will be using those. And so I literally would tear out each page and stick it in, but decorate the page around it to reflect the actual main page. I didn't want to detract from the page itself. That was the journal that I made. I wrote that for her as we went along, and I want that still to be the star of the journal, but I just thought I'd enhance it a little. And I've done a little snippet down the edge, which I think is really pretty. I really enjoyed making those. I think I've still got some left. I've got a whole box of stuff here that's left over from this project that I've been using. So that was the title page with her name and her date of birth and things like that. And I just stenciled some hearts on the background. And then this is the picture of her on her the day she was born. And I just put a few hearts down the side. So it's going to be quite minimal decorating, I have to say that, because you know, I don't want it to be overloaded with decoration, and then the actual main event will disappear almost. So this one was my first meeting with her, and I just covered the page in hearts, little tiny hearts, a little bit of lace. So that's how it goes really. I've just basically picked out how I decorated the first page, or the page itself, and try to just enhance that a little around the outside, just to make it look a bit more of a whole. And they're all in the form of a letter. And I've dated them. They're each dated, and they've each got a tiny number, because it was like 50 weeks, so I had to number the weeks. So this was week 3, and if you look closely, you can generally find a number. Although this one I can't even see. I can't see the number on this, but I think that's because it was the same week. So that's the 5th of May, and that's the 9th of May. So I think we must have gone twice that week. I did go twice sometimes, and we'd go at the weekends, but the main thing was I went over for a whole day. I left here just after breakfast. I'd pick up a nice lunch to share with Jenny, because I don't think she was eating very well at the time, and spend the whole day with them until Little went to bed. And that was just the most wonderful experience to do that every day, every week for the year. And then sometimes we go at the weekend as well, so my husband could see them. So we had a nice lot of visits. So I think this was a second visit in the same week, which is why I haven't numbered it. All right, so I'd obviously started working on this one. This is as far as I've got. So all I did to make the journal, I'll just show you. It's actually 1, 2, 3 signatures, and I've just used copy paper because I thought that was simple. I want this to be bright, cheerful, you know, pastel and pretty, but not in the least bit vintagey, because it wouldn't be suitable. It's for a child. This is for me to give to her when she's old enough to enjoy it. So probably when she's about 20. No, when she's about 10, maybe earlier, depending on, you know, we'll judge it. So yes, this one was just got some lace down the edge and a bit of stenciling in the background. So I must have, all right, so this one I missed that. So there's this one with a little ruffle down the side, and I just did a little bit of faux stitching around it just to highlight it, bring out the red. Didn't need anything else. And yeah, a little bit of stenciling in the background here, the same stencil as I used on the page. Also cut out a few hearts, or punched a few hearts to tie the page in together. So now we're here, and I've obviously done a bit of faux stitching around the edge must be for this page. So I'm doing every page, aren't I? Yes. And I think I worked out how many pages I would need of this so that it would be about right. So I hope I've got it. I hope I've calculated correctly and I've got enough pages, but hopefully I have. So this one I've done some faux stitching. I might just do a little bit of stamping around it as well, just because I used some stamps. I've got these little peg stamps that I used. So I've got a whole bunch of stamps and things out, and of course I haven't got these out, so I'm just going to try and find those so I can just stamp a little bit around the edge and match it in. this little set of peg stamps. They're really cute to use. So this is called Ginger Hearts. So there's a, of course all the ones have come out except the heart one. Haha. Must have got stuck in the bag. Okay. Yeah, so this is just a fun little thing to do. And I can just come back to it now and again. I might do some of it off camera and just do the odd little flip through. You know, if it's something you're interested in me doing on camera again, then I'm more than happy to do so. But I don't know how. It's not the usual traditional junk journaling. It's just something a little bit fun that I'm doing for myself. And it may not be something that you want to watch too often. Right, just got to try and find the right colours to go with that. I generally use these little Versa colour stamps because they come in all sorts of colours, and they're not too expensive and they're very easy to store. So I think it's possible I used that one. Hyacinth. I know I've got a turquoise. Which might be this one. Oops. Is that the turquoise? Or celadon? Don't know. That looks a bit greeny. What is this? Sorry, I should have got these out before, but I didn't. I've forgotten I'd used these. I was trying to remember the things that I might have used and get some out ready. So I've got some napkins ready, and I've got some stamps and some stencils, and didn't think about these little stamps. So that's the turquoise, which is I've got a strong suspicion I may have used, and I may have used a bit of green as well, possibly the olive. We'll see. I'll just check if those colours work. Let's try the turquoise, see if it's the right one, because I just want to do a little bit around here just to tie it in with what I did before. I think that looks about the right colour, close enough. What about this one? Did I do that with this? I did that with the heart as well. They make lovely borders, these little stamps, especially if you can just get a few different colours that coordinate. Yeah, I think that's close enough. So I'll have that one, we'll have that one. Not that. Let's try the olive for the little leaves. Yep, I think that's the one I used. So that's the leaves, the hearts, and the little spriggy things as well I used. This one. Oh gosh, I've got another colour in there somewhere. Looks like I've got a lilac of some sort. I think this is the lilac. Heliotrope. Okay, let's give this a go. Take this out of the way. Right, I will start with some of do some hearts. No, not that one. That's the heart. Let me see. And just randomly stamp away, and then we'll do a few around this corner as well. I quite like doing just a little bit of corner decoration. It's not coming out too well, that one. The thing is, when if if you miss a few bits or it doesn't go quite right, you can just overstamp with one of the others. Yeah, it's just quite nice to do a little bit on the corners, and it just brings it all together. Okay, one more. Just do some pale ones in the background. Okay, right, enough of that one. Let's do the pinky one. I've had these little stamps for absolute years, but they've been well used. You can use them because you can use them. They're great in card making, and they're great in, you can use them. I used to use them for scrapbooking to create little frames. Nice on a tag, decorate a tag. Probably should use them more than I do. I often forget I've got them. Okay. Right. One more in the middle. There we are, one more down the side. There we go. It's quite nice actually, that colour ties in quite well with the tie. That was purely random, by chance. Okay, now we need a few leaves. So I've got that little thing, I've got the leaves. Let's do the leaves. Just do a few leaves with the, I don't think I need the celadon. And that was the turquoise, so I can cover that up. I think I shall come back to that to do the little spriggy bits, what I call the spriggy bits. Let's do my leaves. This is olive green. I've got a little selection of greens, but I do like the olive green. And each time I just twist the little stick a little bit in a different direction, just so it looks a bit more natural. As far as anything can be natural when you're just stamping it. But yeah, I like the look of them facing different directions. Have it facing down. And the beauty is that if they don't stamp perfectly, it doesn't matter, because you're just going to, they all mix in together. So it doesn't really notice. I hope you can still see. Let me just check if it's all on the screen. Yeah, looks okay. It is. Yep, sorry. I'm just getting paranoid that I'm not filming. Yes, it was lovely to have this time, this year, with Jenny and Alyssa. It gave me time to really bond with the baby, because I'd spend literally a whole day with them and do everything with them, and and I'd help Jenny with whatever. And when the baby was asleep, which didn't happen very much, I have to say, but it gave Jenny and I a chance to sit and just talk over things. And yeah, I think Jenny enjoyed it as well, because once she'd left home and had finished university and left home, moved out, you don't really get that sort of one-to-one time with your daughters. They're off making their own lives. They're living, she was living in London, doing her own thing. So you don't get that time to just sit and have a cup of tea and chat. And this was our time. This was our time to kind of, I don't know, rediscover each other in a way. And I really enjoyed that as well. Not just spending the time with the baby, but spending that time with Jenny that I hadn't really had a chance to do for a long time, since she was quite young, really. That you just sit and enjoy each other's company, or just walk, go for a walk together. Or that was lovely. That was a really special time. And it's actually the first time in a long time I'd actually felt she needed me in a way, because there were times when she got very stressed, as many mothers do. Sorry, I've just got to not concentrate. I'm not very good at talking and doing at the same time. Right, let's just put the little spriggy bits on just to finish it up. Yeah, and she'd get quite stressed because she's a scientist. She's a very capable young woman. Always has been, quite independent, quite self-contained sometimes in quite a lot of ways. You know, she's very good at just getting on with her own thing, and she likes things to, you know, she likes to research everything. She researches whatever she's going to do. She'll be researching. She's on the phone or on the laptop, so she knows exactly what she's doing. And you can't research a baby. She tried, but babies don't read the same books. I kept telling her, the baby, she hasn't read the book to say she's supposed to go to sleep at this time of day. And I think Jenny found that really difficult, that she couldn't make it happen the way she thought it should. She wanted it, you know, she wanted the baby to work the way it said in the book, and it doesn't work like that. So she'd get herself in a bit stressed out sometimes, and just occasionally she'd ring and I'd ring her and she'd say, oh, I've had no sleep, and I'd say, shall I come over? And she said, yes, please. Now, that was lovely. For me, that was lovely, just to feel that she needed me, because she hadn't really needed me since she was about 10, I felt, you know. And, right, I've got to be really careful now, so I better stop talking. So I do the glue stick on the main part, but not on the, I mean, I did think about, I could cut these bits off, but I just felt I wanted to show that it, you know, that it had come from this other little book, the original book that I'd actually made it in. I just felt there should be a sort of a bit of a sign that that's where it had started, because that's what I made for her to start with. And this is, you know, it's maybe just a bit daft really to worry about that, but I thought I'd like to keep the whole thing together. I'm going to use a bit of the art glitter glue just for these, so they don't tear. And of course the glitter glue. I think what happens, I think it gets cold. I think this stuff goes a bit thick when it gets cold. I don't know. Always have to give it a little bit of a shake up and get it going. Hopefully it will start coming out now. Yes, it's good. So I'm just going to just glue those bits. It is a bit of a tricky operation tearing them out. They can tear a little bit, but as long as I keep them careful, I can stick it back down and it doesn't show. So I just need to concentrate. I get that straight. I want these all to be, yeah, fairly central. Now, where's my little card? Here it is. And this was the first time we'd gone out in the car with her, or I'd gone out in the car with her in the little car seat. So many firsts this year. Obviously, you know, that's nothing new. Babies do their things first, but sometimes, you know, there were usually first experiences for me, even if it wasn't the first time she'd done something. You know, I'd record it if it was the first time I'd seen her do things. This is all about my year with her. This wasn't necessarily the first step or the first smile or things, because they were for her parents to enjoy. But sometimes, you know, things happened for me that was a first for me to see and to experience, and that's what I recorded here. This is me and Lissy's first year together, really. Not necessarily her firsts in everything. But I think it was really worth doing that. I mean, not that I would have done any different, but, you know, I was just very, very lucky that I could, because it really made a difference to our, I think it really helped us to bond, I suppose. That's how you can say it. Okay, I've got a sort of leafy, greeny background here. I'm not going to recreate that, but I might just put a little green edge around, because I'm wearing green and there's green on the thing. So generally I would try and decorate it in a way that would perhaps reflect the photographs and pick the colours out of the photographs or something like that. But I also had to be very mindful of keeping it flat because it's only a little book. And I think that's the way I will try and continue. It can be a little bit more dimensional because it's a bit more, this book is a bit more expandable really, and there's a bit more room. But I've still got to keep it, to a certain extent, a bit flat. Right, so I'm just going to, I think, just edge around it with some green. So I need a page to kind of protect the edges. Let's tear that off the back. Stick that underneath it because then I can just go around the edge. And I need... Just a minute, just getting my little... I can find them. I've got those little brushes that we use for stenciling, which I can't see at the moment. What have I done with them? Oh, there's always something you can't find. Okay, I will pause the video at this point because it drives me mad when I think I've got something to hand and it's just not there. One moment and I'll be alright. Right, found them. Here they are. They were just sitting on the other side of the room where I didn't look. At least I didn't look straight away. Right, so I've got this whole little collection of these. I'm just thinking what's going to be the best colour, best one to use. I think that one. Probably, no, that's been used for red. I think that one might work. Now I'm trying to decide which colour I used. I've got this is peeled paint, this is bundled sage. I think I might have used bundled sage. I may not even have had the peeled paint at that point, so I'm going to try that one. It's all a bit of trial and error sometimes, trying to match all these to what I did the first time. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but it looks better if it's as close as it can be. Let me just try it on my test page. You can hardly see it, can you? Maybe I'll have to use one of the... let's try again. Yeah, I think that's the right colour. It's a case of whether I can get enough of it on the page to make it show. We'll give it a try. I'm not going to use a stencil on this. I think I can use. I use the stencils quite a lot. I just thought I'd just do it a little bit like just an edge really this time. That's coming out. Yeah, my poor Jenny. Being a mum was tough for her to start with. I mean, she absolutely always adored the baby from the minute she arrived. But I think that was the problem. She put herself under so much pressure to get it all perfect, to make it right. And if the baby didn't sleep for the right amount of time, the prescribed amount of time, she thought it was her fault that she hadn't timed it right. And she was so hard on herself for, if things didn't quite follow the book. However many times I tried to say to her, babies don't follow the book. They do it their own way, she's healthy, she's happy, she just doesn't sleep, and she never has. She's never been a great sleeper in the day. Jenny's a lot more relaxed about it these days, obviously, but it took her an awful long time just to realise that she had to just relax about it a bit more, and because I think Alyssa sleeps reasonably well at night. I mean, she doesn't go to bed that early, but every child is different and you just have to adapt to them. They won't necessarily adapt to what you think they should do. Well, I'm not telling anybody anything they don't already know, I'm sure. I'm sure you all have had the same issues out there. I had different issues when mine were tiny. But we all have different things that we have to deal with. And the thing is, when it's your first, you just think it's the end of the world if it doesn't work. They don't do things the way you think they should. But she got through it. They have a wonderful relationship. And she's a great mum. I think she just didn't believe that she was doing a good job for a while there. But then we all have these anxieties when we're new mums, don't we? When she was a baby, I couldn't get her to eat. She just hardly ate anything. And that used to really, really worry me. But she survived. Okay, so if I do that, and then I think I'd like a little something down the edge, I think. Just need a little bit more here. A bit tricky with this little bit of binding here. It's the only time I've ever made a book with more than one signature. Almost forgot I'd made this one. Okay. Right. Now I need a little bit of, just a little bit of lace, I think. Just to soften the, to soften along the edge. Right. And what can I put down there? Let's have a look. Okay, let's get these out of the way first. There for a minute. A little bit of lace. Right. I could use. That would be quite nice. A little bit of broderie anglais. I could just trim it and tuck it under here. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I haven't used that before. That's quite delicate. Done all this colouring, and then I'm going to cover it up, aren't I? Just to show through a little bit. So I'm just going to tidy up the edge. That's got a little bit sticking out there. Let's try. Right. Just want to put this away because it's just so easy just to get buried in stuff, doesn't it? When you're working on one of these things, when you're just jumping from one thing to another. I want to try and keep on top of it a little bit. Okay. And then that goes there. And I could possibly put a little flower or something either end. Okay, so I think the art glitter glue is the thing. Sure, I make it wide enough. I was going to trim this off, but it has got that nice zigzag edge, and a lot of it will be hidden anyway behind the photo. Behind the picture, or behind the page. So I'm not going to worry. There, just a second. Oh, yes, it's already there. Silly fool. I was looking for something to put behind it so it didn't get glue on the next page, but it was already a piece of paper there. Ah. No. I got that even on that side. Not quite. Need to pull it over a little bit. That way. I have it looking about even on that side. That looks better, I think. I just need a little bit more glue under here. By the time I messed about with it, it's dried. Right. And I think I'll put this on. And you can actually just see the green, just a fraction coming through. Just takes off the stark whiteness of it. Yeah, right. Sorry. Thinking, what am I doing now? I'm going to glue the page on, and then I'm going to see if I've got any flowers, or I might just, I can always punch a couple of little flowers to add. Okay, let's glue this one on. So I don't know how long it'll take me to get this completely finished. Quite a while, I think, but then I'm thinking, well, I've got till she's 10. I've got a few years to go. I can just do it periodically. I mean, I'd like to get it finished. Obviously, I don't want it to hang around for that long. I want to get it finished and get the cover done and just put it away, wrapped up in a nice, wrap it up in something. I should probably make a little bag for it. That seems to be my thing, that I like to make a little bag to keep things in. It's just a nice way to keep them, keeps them nice and clean. So I think I've already bought the felt, actually. I think I bought the felt already to make a bag out of it. That was thinking ahead, wasn't it? I think I bought some lilac felt, I think, for this to go in. But I won't make that yet, because obviously you have to wait to know how big it is before you can start making anything to put it in. But I'm prepared. When the time comes, I will be prepared. Right, okay. Ooh. Okay. It has grabbed rather fast. Oh. Right. Careful now. Hopefully it's straight. I'm straight and using the lace as the guide to get it on straight. So I hope that's on straight. Otherwise it won't look too good, but I think we're there. Okay, I think that's on. Let's put this. Where's my top? Yes, I followed everybody else and got these little knitting needle topper thingies to cover them. See if that works any better. I've still got my pin. It still seems to need a bit of poking with the pin, but the pin gets a bit bent and gunky, so I'm trying that as well now. Okay, so I think I want to try and see if I've got any little... I'll have a look in my bag. That I've made some little flowers. I've got these flowers. I think they might be Not quite the right colours. No, these are really made for my wedding journal. I haven't used them yet. And I've got these little ones. Alternatively, I can punch a couple of flowers myself. Well, I made these myself, but they're possibly not the right colours. How about that one? They're just made with punches. Easy peasy. Very happy afternoon, just punching away. Would that go? I think that goes quite nicely there. Yeah, I think that will work. Works for me anyway. Oh, that's the other thing that seems to happen quite a lot. Not the whole bit comes off, the silvery bit. I spent a while washing all that yesterday, but the little topper seems to stick to it, which is a bit annoying. I think I must do it when I've used it because it was wet. Now I can't get it off. Ah, there we go. These things are just, whatever you do, there's always a different thing that makes it difficult. Was this one, wasn't it? Yep. Right. Let's just do that. How about that? That just finishes it off, doesn't it? I think, anyway. Just going to put that on lightly. Right, so I've now got these flowers everywhere. So you can see I'm probably not going to get an awful lot of pages done in one session. But I haven't got to rush. I want it to be right. I want it to be something she'll enjoy when she's old enough to do so. So she might be 10, she might be 8, she might, she might be... Because I'm hoping that when she's a bit older, she'll be joining me in my craft room and we'll play together. And we'll do some painting and some glitter and some sticking, and she might, who knows, she might not be interested in this sort of thing at all. And it might not be something that she enjoys doing when she's a bit older, or she might love it. Neither of my girls are particularly into crafting as such. I mean, they do their own things. Hannah's discovered knitting, and Jenny's always been a baker. Okay, so let's see if I can get one more page done in this video. So I've got to tear out the next one, which is this one. So this is the first tricky part of the procedure. Let's see, I have only got one page. Yeah. So I've just got to tear it very carefully. One little hole at a time. Looks like I've used a napkin on this one. So I have got the napkins at the ready, so that's good. Oh, looks like I'll be doing a yellow page next. That's the thing, because I've done it already, I've got the colour scheme, it's all here. I haven't got to think about it really each time. I just got to enhance what's already there. Okay, so turn over the page. And this page will be... See, I love that. I love the little bit of lace poking out the other side. It decorates this page as well, which is really nice. So, this is all about the blues. And I have got some... I think I've got a nice bit of blue napkin here that might be quite nice. I don't think I'll be able to fit the bird on. I don't think so. You never know. Isn't that beautiful, that napkin? I love that. I think I'm going to be using a bit of this in my wedding journal as well. I want to do some collaging with this. I saw Rachel, it's always Rachel that inspires me to do all sorts of different things, and she did some collaging with napkins, and I've been keen to have a go at doing that, but I haven't had time. I haven't got round to it. Right, so I think what I'm going to do is just do a little bit there. I'm going to go round it with a water pen, I think. Now I know this is upside down, but I don't think it matters, to be honest. I just want to do that corner, I think, or along the top. Where does it go? If I go down the crease, will that work? I need to be slightly in from there. Right, let's give that a little squeeze, get the water coming through. I don't want to get water on here, do I? That way. Oh, squeezing it, it's coming out the sides, not out the brush. That's annoying. Oh, perhaps I just didn't do it tight enough. I haven't used this one before, I just found it in my pot. I don't know how good it is. I think it's coming through now. Okay, so I'm just going to do a bit of a wibbly line down here, and then just go round the flower. Let's see how that looks. Can always trim it off a bit more. Might be too much. I do love this napkin. It's such a pretty colour. Gorgeous. Okay. Let's see. I think I need to just wipe this a bit. Don't want it all getting everything wet. Right. Okay. So if I lay that on here, I think it's probably far too much. I just want to see. I do like that. You might just leave it as it is, but just take a little bit off the side here. Because once you glue it in, it kind of blends into the background a bit, doesn't it? So I think it's just a little bit wide at the side. So I'll just take a bit more off here. I'm rubbish at tearing these without doing the water bit first. This way you can get it to tear exactly where you want it. Yeah. Hope it's wide enough now. How does that look? Yeah, I think that'd be okay. I think there's quite a bit that's a bit lost in the middle. I might just take that out. It'd be so shame to waste it, isn't it? These little flowers in the middle here. I'll just take those out. Maybe I'll be able to redeploy them somewhere else. Okay. I'm getting there. Okay. Don't know if I need any more there. Yeah, I'll just put those along here. What about? How would that look? I just wonder, I don't want it to be too over the top. I'll see how it looks with just the first bit on and then see if I need to add any more. Now this is a little tricky. I'm going to do it a bit at a time. I think I'm going to need a new glue stick very soon. You don't need to lay on a really thick layer of glue for this because the napkins do grab quite quickly. Right, let's try it. You can't really readjust once you've got it on there. Get that straight, that's the important bit, and get the top on straight. And I can always add a bit more glue on the edges. This is not straight, is it? Maybe I'll just put the glue down the side, make sure that grabs along the side, and then everything else will have to adjust to that. Okay, so it's not entirely straight along the top. Maybe tear that there. And this can be adjusted, have it overlapping a fraction. Make sure it goes nearer the, just straightens it up at the top, she says. Okay, I think that's not too bad. Let's put the glue on the rest of it. Oops. Oh, goodness me. Get that glue on. There we are, that side. I've just got to get some more glue down this edge. Right, I think that's all on. Maybe a few little bits here. Not quite. I need to go and get another glue, I think, in any minute now. But I think that's on. And I could put that there. Could almost put a piece of washi down the side or something, or I don't know. I need something more down the side there. I'm inclined to not put any more of this on there. I think it's probably would be a bit too much. I might put a little border around here with pen or something. I don't know if I've got anything of the right colour though. Don't know, do I want it, sorry, thinking out loud here, just thinking if I want it there, just to go round that bottom corner, down the bottom. I quite like the idea of it being at the bottom here. I am going to cut this along the bottom so that it goes straight here. I'd rather do that than trim it afterwards, I think. Put that there. Then it just goes around that corner, and then I've just got that little bit here, which I think I'm happy with that. Because it sort of ends a bit abruptly here, and it looks, I don't know, doesn't quite look right for me. Right, let's see. It cut out as usual, but I haven't done anything, you haven't missed anything. I always forget that after half an hour, and I had turned it on and off and on again, so I forgot to measure the next half hour. So every half hour my camera turns itself off. And sometimes I catch it, and sometimes I miss it. And this time I missed it. Oh, that's not going on straight, is it? Try again. Right. That's better. Okay, I think our hour is nearly up. So this page is pretty well done. Ah. And as I would have to go and get another glue, I might as well finish it here. So you'll be able to see what it's going to look like. I may well put a little something here. I'm thinking maybe a little bow or something across that corner. That might happen. Little blue bow. Depends if I can find anything suitable. The glue is done, so that's got to go in the bin. So yes, there's no point in me going and just sticking this on. You can see how it's going to look. So there we are. I think that's my video for today. It's nice to get back into doing this and remembering this happy year, and I will come back and do a bit more at some point. Let me know in the comments if it's something you want to see me do more of, or whether you'd rather just see a flip through, you know, every so often when I've done a few more pages. I'll be happy to hear which you would prefer, and I'm happy to do either. I have got another project that I want to start fairly soon. So which I will do, and I will swap between the two if that's what you'd like me to do, or I'll concentrate on the new journal that I may be starting next week if I can decide where to start with it, and I'll talk to you about it when that happens. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed this, something a bit different, and please do join me again soon. Goodbye.